The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Welcome to the Happiness Jungle TV show. And as always, I'm excited, but today I'm double excited because CamiBaker.com is actually in the house with our Chief Happiness Officer herself, Miss Lyn-Dee Eldridge. Lyn-Dee, say hello to our adoring fans.
Hello, everybody, from my satellite TV office in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
As you all may remember, Lyn-Dee and I have been sharing this platform for almost a year now because Lyn-Dee moved to South Florida and is working a global business from down in the Florida area. And we are now doing what we like to think of as the Mastermind Business Summit Global. I got to get that right. Mastermind Business Summit Global. Every 6 months when Lyn-Dee and I get together, she comes back to New Hampshire to have her breast cancer checkup. And so we are just bringing that to a nice big celebration of her health, of our happiness, and of our partnership, and of all the wonderful people that we have built in a nice tribe here. So we're going to talk today about what we're doing with the Mastermind Business Summit.
I'm thrilled. I could not be more excited. Cami, when you and I met, it was really funny. We both came together. We were in two different businesses. And long story short, it brought us to where we are today. We collaborate together. We co-entrepreneur together. We do events together. And we help people bring on their shine. And that's one of the most powerful things the reason that I really got connected with you is because you're such a powerful force. When it comes to business, when it comes to personal, you get it done. So it gives me great pleasure to be able to partner with you. It gives me great pleasure to be for you to be my co-host on this Happiness Jungle TV channel. We got great guys behind us that help us, and I'm just thrilled. I'm just absolutely thrilled to be a part of you. What I was most excited about when I was just there a month ago, not only am I a year and a half cancer-free, but we also get to bring together the event, the Mastermind Business Summit Global. It excites me. We have changed lives. We had, I think it was 13 attendees, and they all walked away with golden nuggets that they are using today. So it gives us great pleasure to be able to bring this back to the New England area every 6 months. Our next event is October 21st. And it's at the castle. And Cami, I got to give you kudos because you got to do all the legwork because I'm down here in South Florida. But you and I had the opportunity to go and check out the castle and to make sure that the venue was exactly what we wanted it to be. And my God, I believe, and I think that you'll agree with me, that it's much more than we both expected it to be.
Well, it certainly is. It's Searles Castle for anyone who wants to look it up. The castle's been there for about 100 years and it's just pristine. I actually asked the guy who runs it, I said, is it haunted? And he said, no. He said, nobody's ever lived here. It was actually built 100 years ago to house the Searles family's antiques and artifacts. So wow. No one's ever actually lived there or died there. And so it's just a clean, it's a castle that literally looks like it was just built yesterday, but it's 100 years old, has a lot of beautiful history, nooks and crannies, and it's actually a lot of fun to be, putting this one together because when I go visit the castle, I could just spend all day there just hanging out. And when I went back last week and I secured the venue for us, I took a lot of photos and some videos of the rooms. And of course, they have a beautiful pamphlet. Anyone who goes online to look up Searles Castle, you can see the venue. But what I got to thinking was, hey, we've got this nice big castle, we got the run of the whole place, and we know lots of authors and speakers and mentors and coaches and experts in whatever field. And so you and I have now decided, let's open it up to other people, because they also have a large tent outside that houses about 250 people. They have some of the most beautiful, extraordinary, elegant, high class, high profile weddings there that happen in the tent. So what we're going to do is everyone can have their own room. The rooms seat anywhere from, there's about 3 or 4 rooms that seat 30. And then there's another room that seats 15 and another one that would seat 10. And so depending on how big of a room our guests need, you rent your room, you bring your people, but we'll all get together for breaks. We'll all get together for lunch. And then at the end of the event, we'll all get together for one big net webbing, as I call it. Networking doesn't work because it's random activity. Net webbing leverages our time through planned strategy, and we will be having planned strategy just like at our last mastermind. Lyn-Dee, share with our viewers a little bit about some of the fun and some of the takeaways our people had at the last one.
Yeah, there are so many people that are so uncomfortable with using videos and FaceTime and not understanding the full benefits of all of what social media has to offer. So Cami, you are the Facebook FaceTime queen, and I used to do it so much, and I'm not doing it as much anymore. I'm doing more videos because sometimes the reception down here isn't cooperating. But what we have taught everybody that was at our Mastermind Business Summit, our first one, is that they could give testimonials. Instead of just leaving a text for someone, they can leave a video. And what happens when you do this is that you get to interact with the person that you want to receive your message much more effectively for your business and for your personal. And the bottom line was the outcome of what happened, and the testimonials that came out of that event were so much more powerful than I could have even dreamed it to be. So not only am I excited to be at this next, the second Mastermind Business Summit Global with you, but how exciting is it to be able to invite other experts in their field to share this space and then mastermind and collaborate all together under an amazing tent. It's really a dream come true. And for anybody that really wants to up their game, to take their business not only to the next level, but to the levels above, and to accomplish all the greatness that you want, you don't want to miss this event. You truly, truly don't. And for all the authors, the speakers out there, the ones that have that message, you want to bring your people together in one spot, because when you do this, as we all know, because we go to events, how contagious it is to be in a like-minded surroundings, and what we all get from that, and the relationship buildings that go far beyond the event.
So true. And, you know, as we finished up the mastermind, we did ask about a week later what some of the people, what they loved the most about it, so that we can continue doing the great things. And there was really nothing to fix or enhance from the last one. It was perfect just the way it was. But we are talking about doing things like learning more about YouTube and LinkedIn and different ways to apply that. And this isn't just about sitting behind computers. As a matter of fact, all we had was our phone so that we could do some actual Facebook Lives, etc., while we were there. But when we get together at the castle, for any of the experts out there that are thinking about this, if you're thinking to yourself, wow, I have a tribe, I'd like to get together, you know, this isn't a convention space. This isn't a hotel. This isn't a boring square room that seats 100 people theater style. These are majestic. This is royalty. This is impressive. It is upscale. It is phenomenal. So we would like to invite you to reach out to us, and keep in mind that whoever your folks are that you want to invite, your tribe, you want them to be business minded. So for example, if you're an author and you want to come together and discuss your book, you may have a romance novel or some type of other like fiction novel, and that's great. But if your people aren't business minded and want to get together and mastermind about how to build business, how to personal brand, how to market, how to use funnels and how to use video and how to build business relationships, if they're not of that mindset, they're probably not going to fit in. So we want to make sure that that's the kind of people, because what we're going to do is we're going to coordinate that we have breaks at the same time. So every hour and 15 or so, we'll take a break so that we aren't disturbing one another. We're all breaking at the same time. So they'll be able to to mingle and mix and mastermind with others in between your classes and our classes. So and the outside of this place is so beautiful, and New Hampshire, New England is just gorgeous in the fall, and it might even be leaf peeping season by then. And so to be able to go outside and sit, there's some beautiful places out on the lawn. There's actually a place that I've noticed in the brochure where some of the ladies get married, some of the couples get married, and an outside kind of rounded little theater area. So that's a place where we could actually have someone set up some talks. And I'm just so excited to bring together our friends, our collaborative partners, and the like-minded, because this is an experience. There's nothing about sitting at a desk and taking notes. I mean, there'll be notes taken, but this is experiential. This is all about really sinking our teeth in and taking action. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. It is all about interacting. Now, I want everybody to also get excited, because business is old-fashioned as well as new-fashioned, and we cannot eliminate the old-fashioned. Today, everybody is so concentrated on the new way of doing business, where in fact, if you lose the old-fashioned touch, you're missing a very big string of links that are not connecting you to what it is that you're really looking to achieve. I was so excited that when Cami and I did our event, number one, I want everybody to realize that we are very time conscious. We understand time management. We start on time and boom, right on the dot, we finish on time. Number two, you're going to get to interactive, to be able to participate, to be able to get out of your own way in a venue that is beyond soothing. Whenever we want to put together an event, Cami was so generous to open up her home to all of us for our last mastermind, and it was amazing because you didn't walk into a hotel. It wasn't stuffy. It was kind. It was collaborative, and that's exactly what the castle is bringing. So let's go ahead and talk to some of the experts out there that are thinking, I would love to do an event. I can never find a venue. The hotels are too expensive. Guys, this is so in your budget. Your audience, your clients, your team, your tribe are going to thank you for bringing them there that day, because it is the most tranquil but yet mind-filling place that we could have found for this next event. So I'm excited about this because we need to remember old touch business, bringing in the new touch business, and making sure that you're living within your passion and your means. And people will absolutely feel you. They'll feel your vibration. They'll take your lessons, and they are going to absolutely escalate just like you're going to escalate your business.
Well, I love that you've mentioned the old school and the new school. One of the ways that I refer to it is high tech meets high touch. And so when I'm with my high tech friends, I'm the high touch. And so that simply means, listen, it doesn't matter if you're sending emails, texts, if you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, if you're going out to physical networking events, this eye contact, body language, being able to truly communicate and conversate and collaborate to create the income, influence, and impact that we're all wanting to have. So for you as the experts out there, your tribes are going to, when they come together with us, we'll be teaching a little bit of this high touch part, because some of the exercise we do with our people is so that our tribe collectively, our 30 or so in our room, are going to know each other very well by the end of the day. They are going to be bonded. They are going to want to do business and want to be friends and generate the resources and the relationships that lead to the revenue for one another. And so when your tribes are intermingled with ours, our people are going to teach yours how to create all those resources, relationships, and revenue too by their own example. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And there's so much opportunity for everybody. For our other brothers and sisters that are leaders that are going to be joining us in the venue to teach whatever they want to share, you have more clients that are going to be there. You just haven't met them yet, but you will at that event. See, we all want knowledge and we're all willing to invest in ourselves. We just don't know who to go to. And there you are with Cami Baker and Lyn-Dee Eldridge at one venue for us to be able to introduce you to ours, you to introduce yours to us. Magic happens, guys. Magic happens. It's just like what Cami shared with you. It's high touch meeting. What was that, Cami? High touch?
High touch meets high tech. And let's talk a little bit about how they are going to put their people in the room. So I want to brainstorm that with you even now live on TV, because we haven't talked all about it yet. But from my vision, each person has their own room and they bring their own people. So I've been to lots of venues where there's lots of speakers and all the people come and they pay one thing and they pick and choose the breakout rooms that they're going to be in. This is a little bit different. This is special for you and your people. So whatever it is that the investment is for your people to be with you for that day, whatever that investment is, that's totally up to you. Your investment with us to have the room is literally a couple $100. Like, it is so inexpensive. It's just ridiculously a low investment. And then you decide what you want to do with your people. You can have them all come for free if you want, if that's who you are. You can, put together a workshop that's the high ticket, whatever works for you, so that the right people for you show up in that room. And what we'll do is we'll put together a landing page or, just a one-page website, keep it real simple so that you can promote where the venue's going to be and, just how beautiful it is. And Lyn-Dee and I are actually going to put together the spread. So, coffee and Danish and all that's provided. Lunch will be provided. We'll have a beautiful lunch spread. And then at the end of the day, when we get together for the last hour or two to do our net webbing, we'll have some type of a cocktail hour, and we'll be providing we're not going to provide alcohol, but they'll have a bar there and you can do whatever you got to do with that at the end. But we'll be providing all of that and having just a safe, clean, beautiful, really highbrow. This is a nice
high quality, and a place that's affordable for everybody. That's affordable for everybody.
We've talked about doing venues before, and we've talked about masterminds, and we've talked about retreats. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, timing is everything. Timing has to be right. Lyn-Dee went through her health scare, and, I've moved across country, and we've had different things going on, but the timing has been right. That this time it wasn't, hey, let's make something happen. It was, hey, this is happening. This is just a natural flow. And so to be able to open that natural flow up and just be abundant with others that want to be abundant, I just think it squeezed my tatas good.
That's good. That's good. I just want to share with everybody. I know that Cami and I, we go to several events. I'm now down in South Florida. I travel all the time. Cami travels all the time. And it's very interesting to us that the people that live 5 miles from the castle won't show up, but the people that live 500 miles from the castle will absolutely show up. So if there's a will, there's a way. And you have to step out of that comfort zone. And you will be so happy that you did. You will be so happy that you're going to be sharing this space. And you just never know who you're going to meet that's going to be able to help you in your business. And what I mean by that, not so much that you'll have to invest in them. Maybe they're going to want to invest in you. Maybe you're the one who has their golden nugget. So I know when Cami and I go to events, like she shared before, there are breakout sessions. It's kind of similar, except we're all on our own individual expertise. And it's absolutely fabulous. As for the food, somehow or another, Cami and I did it right at her house, and everybody ate. Even the people that didn't think that they were going to be able to eat the food ate and was filled and delighted. So we want to make sure that if you have a special needs, if you're allergic to anything, we need to know these things. But I got to tell you, we have such a diversified choice of food. The buffet is delicious that you are going to leave mindfully healthy, bodily healthy, and joyfully healthy. There's no question in our minds. And that's why we're so excited to continue on with our Mastermind Business Summit globally. And I was approached already down here. You know him, Cami, by George Duback. And I got together and I met with him the other week. I shared with him what we're doing in New England. He says, Lyn-Dee, would you do that down here? And I said, yes. He said, would Cami come down? And I said, yes.
As a matter of fact,
So,
we should find out if George wants to come up here for ours. And, you know,
exactly.
you mentioned about the traveling and all of that. I just want to also mention we have a hotel in the area that we will be, that we'll have a booking of rooms with. And also, when we are investing to go to an event, you know, I've talked about this many, many, many times over the years, quality versus quantity. And every time I go to another free event, I always think to myself, why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep going to free events? Like, you know, if it's local and it just happens to be convenient, you happen to be free that night. So you know, you've got nothing else to do, so you go down. But I always, when I go to a room like that, and listen, don't get me wrong, I've met some of my best friends at free events. However, I also know the difference of how it feels in a room or in a space or in a weekend, in an event full of people who are invested. There's a whole different energy. There's a whole different feel of people that are serious about their business. Whether they invest 100 or 10,000, if people are invested, they are invested. So this will be one of those kinds of events where, like you were saying, sometimes people need what you have. So if you do SEO or websites, or you're a coach, or you're a fitness instructor, or you help people with their finances, or you're a realtor, like whatever it is that you do, get in a room full of people who aren't afraid to invest in themselves, because that, my dear friends, is where the rubber meets the road. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, let me go out to, I mean, and we are talking to people that we haven't even met yet. So for all of those leaders, all those gurus, all of those experts out there that Cami and I haven't even met yet, and you're saying, wow, I wonder if they'll let us in. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, look, we're looking to build new relationships as well. And let me throw this out there. LinkedIn is now putting together groups and getting together physically. I'm going to one tomorrow night down here in South Florida. So if you are an expert in LinkedIn, if you're an expert in any of these social media platforms, you might want to come and offer your expertise, because it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
1,000.
That's how I met my coach. I'm sorry, Cami. That's how I met my coach from LinkedIn, and I hired her, you know, so she could go ahead and professionally do my LinkedIn page right up to date. So there are many, many different experts out there that we are inviting. You just need to contact Cami and I. Let's sit down, make sure that we are fit for one another to be sharing the space. I think that's very important. And guys, it's going to be a venue that you have never been able to get before. And it's magical on all levels.
1,000%. And I don't want to mention any names necessarily, because we're not sure who all is going to be there, but that LinkedIn person I think you're talking about, we want to invite her and or another LinkedIn expert to have one of those rooms. I'd love to have a LinkedIn expert in a room. I'd love to have a YouTube expert in a room, and just have all of that so that when we do come together to NetWeb, we can do that.
Yeah.
I also want to mention that we have a Facebook group created. It is the Mastermind Business Summit Global Facebook group. It is open to the public. And in that group, you'll start meeting people who've already been to the Mastermind, people who are coming. And also, because we put the word out, hey, what would you like to have at the next event? There are different things, like, for example, coming up, Lyn-Dee's going to be doing a Zoom in the group about YouTube and the different ways that you've been using it and how to edit video, etc. So we've got different experts like Ronald Koeman, who's in the group, and he does stuff on SEO and many different aspects of online marketing. So we'll have different experts that are going to be doing some Zooms about once a month, just to keep us all moving forward. We encourage you to share that group to business-minded people. So when Lyn-Dee said, you're thinking to yourself, would I fit in? And she said, yes. Well, I'm going to give you a caveat. Only if you're positive. Only if you're positive and forward thinking and visionary and all about collaboration. We do not understand the word competition. We only collaborate. We only want people who are looking for the solution, not talking about the problem. So having that said, If you feel that way, if you're that kind of person, if that's you, then reach out. You can just join us straight up on the Facebook group. That's the easiest way to contact us. And as I always say, you can text me, email me, call me, Facebook me, carrier pigeon, smoke signal, LinkedIn, or what the good old fashioned phone is good for. Make a phone call. We are easy to reach.
Absolutely, 110%. And we're looking forward to doing this event, not only for Cami and I, because Cami and I never think of ourselves, but we think about others. So I know that there's a very special woman, I'm not going to mention her name, that will probably be very interested. And she's in Massachusetts, that's how I say it. Massachusetts. And I'm just thrilled because I know that she's going to want one of those classrooms. And this is a woman that you want to meet. If you really want to understand social media in its whole, you're going to want to be there. And I know that she's going to be participating with us. And Cami, thank you for sharing it. Only bring your positive attitude, your uplifting, your jara that makes you shine. And as soon as you start pulling into that driveway of the castle, leave all your troubles down below, because that's one thing that we don't want is any negative energy. And when you walk in, I don't want to hear why you're late. I don't want to hear that the baby was crying, that your husband forgot to flush the toilet. I don't want to hear any of those things. I just want to hear that you are excited and happy to be there, because the energy will absolutely flow and make the biggest difference in our event, just like it did to our first one. So for anybody that came a little bit late, they weren't allowed to give us the excuse of why they were late. They weren't allowed to interrupt, but they were allowed to sit in the seat that was in the back of the room, not all the way in the back, but we knew that they were coming, so we made sure that there was an empty seat for them so they could come in quietly and sit down, because your time is very valuable to us. And that's how much Cami and I care about you. For those that have arrived on time, we're going to start on time, and we are going to respect you. And you are not going to get distracted by anything that's going on in the back of us.
15 minutes early is on time is late is unacceptable. That's what I was taught, that's what I preach. And when you talk about pulling up to the castle, one last thing about it is you actually will be parking in a parking lot down from the castle, and you'll be limoed. A limo will bring you from there up to the front door. So, my friends, it is my honor to be on the Happiness Jungle with our Chief Happiness Officer, Lyn-Dee Eldridge herself. We are just inviting any of you to reach out to us if you want to be in our room as a participant. And if you want to be an expert, let us know, because there's only 5 or 6 rooms and they're going to go fast. See you later, everybody.
See you later. See you in the limo.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.